So I'll always look at the 12-hour time frame and I'll be like, all right, what's our direction, right? General direction is bearish. Even though we may have like a bullish cross here, I'm not in my head automatically thinking we're like long-term moon because I know, markets will expand and contract and they'll have pullbacks and stuff like that, right? So what I'm looking for here is my directional bias. So like I'm short, yeah.
Yep.
So bearish. So then I'm looking at that 4-hour time frame. We are at that area of value through here. All right. Resistance.
Hmm.
So we're almost overvalued here. So people are saying we're expensive. So even though we've got a bullish pennant here or a triangle to say continuation pattern to go long, in my head, I'm already looking for shorts. Now, that doesn't go against you saying we've had a powerful move and a continuation pattern sitting above support here or like flirting in that support area. Like if you took a long out of this, still, it's valid.
Yep.
Obviously, obviously it's determined like win or loss, and then we put into our psychology and human behavior and emotions going, fuck, I didn't win that, right? But as long as if we can separate like emotions from outcome, then that's all there is to it. Because that's what I was saying. I was like, you can look at this in a couple of ways where it's like, cool, we've got a powerful move here, sideways action, then a push out. Like that's relevant. I would take that any day of the week, right? But because I've got my system is high time frame is bearish, I'm looking for I'm looking for those areas of value up in here. So that's valid for me. And then I'm looking to short back down.
Yep.
All right. Now, the third way to look at it, you can go, cool, we've got a powerful move here, right? Sideways action. Now, higher time frame is still bearish. I don't want to counter trend trade, so I'm out. You know what I mean? So there's like three ways to look at it.
Yeah, because like obviously,
Because there's always going to be that interim where it's going from like trending market to change of direction, right? Which is usually like through these consolidation periods. But if we start to break out and show confidence here, for example, if we create another higher high here, a higher low here, and break above this, I might go, all right, cool. I might take like a cheeky long. You know what I mean? And that's what we did. This is what we did on Ethereum from here. Pushed out up into here, consolidated. So same sort of scenario, right? Where it's like we're consolidating sideways, but I'm at an area of value. Now, if you said to yourself, cool, this is a continuation pattern and you trade continuation patterns, that's totally fine as well. But because I've got my own system, right? See how I'm doing the same thing in this trade where it's like higher time frame bias, right? We had a big move happening here to down, back down, right? I'm doing the same system here. We've had a move into the higher time frame resistance, so I'm gonna short from here down. You know what I mean? So like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. Now, if you were to say I trade out of continuation patterns, totally fine. Like at a very basic level, very good. But then you start to add other layers of information in there to go, all right, well, it's literally just looking for probabilities, right? So 50-50 decision, this is going to go up, 50-50 decision is going to go down. Then all I do is I stack in the higher time frame trend, right, which is down at the moment, right? So that goes, cool. My bias shifts towards a short a little bit more. And then you add in the high time frame area of value with indecision, like a sharp sell off. See how there's like a sharp sell off there?
yeah,
Yep. And then we got that bear flag through here. So that's why I shorted.
rightio.
Now, if you lost this trade and you went long, that's fine as well, right? Because if you followed your system, because you're like, yep, big powerful move, bullish market structure, bullish market structure, bullish market structure, next leg is up, totally fine as well. But if you had that mindset, what I would be looking for is just a break above this, because remember, what are we trading into?
Yeah, we're
Trading
trading
into trading
maturities.
into this higher time frame area of value where we got a massive rejection. So if we broke above this, fuck yeah, I'm long all day. So see how
So
you sort of just start to add different layers of information?
zoom out, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, it just obviously, as you said, you get your bias from the daily, but sometimes the 1 and the 4 hour are looking bullish and the
yeah.
daily's bearish, and it's like, well,
Well, if you understand where you are in the cycle of the trend, then that's fine. You know what I mean? You might go, fuck, I might take just a cheeky little long here because I can see that going from here all the way up to this daily area of value. And that's what I've done on Ethereum, right? I saw this consolidation here. My EMAs were pushing it out, so I took the long out of here, continuation long, and then once we come to here, I was like, I'm gonna flip my bias. I'm gonna flip my trade to short because this was a decent trade. You know what I mean? So there, remember how there's like that interim from like going from a trend sideways uptrend, because the trend will always change on a lower time frame. You just need to understand where you are in that overall trend and are you comfortable taking that transition.
On the hourly at the moment, Bitcoin is really in a squeeze.
Yeah, exactly
Yeah,
right. And
and
this is exactly what we're talking about,
saw
right?
the
And
same thing happen on Sunday where it just flatlined.
yep.
Like, hey, and then it just dove.
So, you know, I look at this and I'm like, yeah, you can definitely take a long out of it, you know, like just at first glance. There to there, you know, that's a 5 to 1 because there's not much sitting between here and here. So like that's a valid trade,
Yeah,
right? However, I'm not gonna say I'm right or wrong. Like I could totally fucking lose this trade and it pops out like fantastic, you know? But because I've stayed alongside my strategy of identifying the higher time frame trend, we're at an area of value where I think, you know, we can reverse. So I want to trade with that. Now, if we push out, consolidate, then I'll be like, all right, stopped out. What's happening? Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's yeah, it was just interesting, obviously.
It's different perspectives of the market, right? So that's why I wanted to show you guys one trade, three different ways you can look at it. And depending on you and how you are with your risk tolerance, your risk management, your like risk acceptance, as long as you understand both sides of the coin, you're not gonna be angry at yourself, right? So this is why it's all about, you know, forecasting and go, cool. I understand that we're in a continuation pattern. My job is to go, am I accepting of the risk of shorting this at an area of value? I stack up the information and I go, I'm happy with that, or I'm not happy with that, or I stay out.
That's my problem.
Yeah, that's my problem too.
Because
It's
markets can only go two ways, right? Up or down.
Yeah,
We just need to put the probabilities into our favor just by a little bit. Like literally, this is a 50-50 decision right now.
yeah,
Up or down. And flip ahead, right? You know what I mean? If you got good risk management, you'll win with a 50% win rate, right? But all we're trying to do is go long, short, 50-50. We're just trying to shift the odds into our favor a little bit. So this is why I look for the trend, right? Trend. Then I just take like trades out of areas of value and then my entry triggers, which is candlesticks. And then if that just moves to a 60-40, would you take odds over that any day of the week?
yeah.
60% chance to 40% or whatever the odds are. Because right now it's 50-50, right? Like, Julian, you could literally put a long on this now, and me and you would be like going head to head.
Like
Doesn't matter
arguing.
if you win or I win, right? Doesn't matter if you win or I win. What matters is that because there's no skill of placing a trade. Yeah. The skill is when you get into a flurry of losses and your psychology then ticks in and goes, I'm doing the right thing, or I gotta stop now and have a breather and things like that. So that's why I'm always pushing psychology in the community. This is why, like, even at the retreat, like the first day was fucking 10 hours of just psychology and shifting shit and changing habits.
Yeah,
Everyone was like, "Holy fuck! I just thought I was coming here to trade." I was like, "Nah, you can't escape from me now. I'm gonna fucking jam you with all this."
yeah, which is what I think I need because I
Yeah,
understand a lot of the candlesticks and
yeah.
yeah, it's just
It's the psychology. Psychology is
yeah.
the biggest thing because everyone attaches emotion to win or loss.
I'm pretty neutral now, to be honest.
Good.
I've had that many losses and
You're
not that
numb
many
to it.
wins. I'm sort of numb to it, yeah. But yesterday when we were on the call, I wanted to I wanted to put a long on, but obviously when I picked my son up from kinder, if you zoom out,
On Biddy.
yeah, and then probably go to the higher time frame, the bottom trend line, if you drew that up on the wicks and the candles, it it did like a three drive into that on the 1 hour, like to the bottoms of the wicks. I normally do a parallel channel, and it yeah, if you draw even to that big one, the big drop down, and connect all three.
From here, one, two, three.
No, the big drop down where your sort of toolbox is, yeah,
Yeah.
that bottom wick through the other two wicks.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. See,
It's
this is
sort
this is where like trend lines are like subjective, right? Because if you draw them, I could draw them differently to you. You know what I mean? Like if you're running, like off body to body, you could run it going like this, right? And it's like one, two, three. Oh, we've broke trend.
yeah. So obviously the way I drew it was I draw from the wicks, the bottoms of the wicks, and I usually use a parallel channel,
Yeah.
and then I drag the top of the parallel channel up to the bottom of the bodies.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you're identifying that whole area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you do that, that lines up like pretty good to the bottom of the move that Bitcoin just exploded out of. And it doesn't seem so crazy that Trump apparently called some fucking bullshit at support sort of thing.
Mm. And that's the thing. It's like all strategies work, right? So trend lines work, support and resistance work, but it's your edge in the market is doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I just try and make things as easy as possible because I'm like fucking semi-retarded sometimes. So I just try and keep shit simple. There's these people that do like your ICT or ICP concepts and,
Oh no,
running
that's
out of 1 minute order blocks and things like that. And I'm just like, if you just do the same thing over and over again, you're not going to stress yourself with like why something didn't work, especially if you forecast like two different things, right? It's like, all right, the market can do this or this. So for example, oil, right? I got wrecked last night because I was like, yep, our EMAs are pushing up fucking nice and solid. We had a nice push out here. This was looking really good, this candle. 4 hours looking really good. I was on a live and I said, this candle isn't closing really good, right? I understand EMAs are flat, but I was like, I was being pretty aggressive on this and I took an entry here, right, for the long out. And then we dumped. However, if I was playing my original range trading strategy, I would have been shorting from here, down to here. But because I was being aggressive to take that next long out, right? I got whacked. However, my forecasting was one or two. So I wasn't like angry at the outcome because I knew that this would come down. Now what happens is people get angry at the outcome is because they actually didn't understand what could happen on the other side of the trade.
Yeah, yep.
So the higher probability trade was shorting this, right? Especially because their 4 hour EMAs were, flat. So we're still in that range. But I was looking at my 12-hour and daily biases going, yep, I'm happy with this push out because even though we had this big push down on that weekly time frame, our weeklies were just here, right? So we're still not even nowhere close here, but I was looking at a trade from here to here and then I was going to get out and short it back down, but we didn't
Yeah,
pop.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
So
these are
you're
these are
looking
the
for
things.
the double top for the pullback for the weekly MAs or something.
Yeah. Well, we're still so like even if this wants to push, it's got a high probability chance of not pushing through this all-time high because our weeklies are still down here somewhere. And usually through all-time highs, we need the weeklies to push them out.
Yeah, yep.
Then like US 500, I was explaining this on the live call last night that look, that's where our daily EMAs were, and we're right at like an area of value where a big move happened. All right, so we went from here to here last night, back up to the EMAs, and I think it was Mick that was on the call last night. I was like, yeah, we're pushing down, but look how close we are to these areas of value. Like something could happen. Like it's a little bit risky to short just into this because it's not too far away and we don't know where it's going to respect. And then all of a sudden, Trump announces that the war's over
Yeah, yep.
for the next 5 days. So, and then that's what happened with the markets.